It's time to eat, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This will be my first of many cooking videos. So today we have a one-pan chicken dinner that is healthy and tasty. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button now and let's get into it. All aboard for some juicy chicken thighs. So the first thing you want to do is take either a fresh lemon or lemon juice and clean the chicken. So you want to squeeze the lemon all over the chicken, rub it around nice and well with some water just to make sure you have enough liquid in there to move that around. And you want to remove all the excess fat and skin just for a leaner chicken thigh. You then want to rinse the chicken off and pat it dry so that you have a nice dry base so that your seasoning can stick to the chicken. Now that our chicken is primed and ready to go, it's time to add the seasonings. So I started with black pepper. I prefer to use a black pepper grinder just because it's larger flakes. To me, it's fresher and I just like the taste better overall versus regular black pepper. But honestly, both will work. Then I'm going in with the rest of the seasonings. So as you guys can see, I don't measure anything. So no need to measure, just cook, but I know that doesn't work for everyone. So I would say you need about 2 tablespoons of each seasoning and you can add as needed. So based on how the chicken looks, if the color is not right, if it's just looking like it needs a little bit more seasoning, you can add some more. The only seasoning I would say that you can add as much as you want of is garlic powder. That to me is the king of seasonings. Like I put garlic powder in everything. So you can put as much garlic powder as you'd like, but you want to be easy on the salt. I don't like salty food. I grew up with a diabetic grandmother with high blood pressure, so that is why most of my meals are so healthy. So, salt is something that you can always add after, but you can't remove once the food is cooked. Trust me, I have tried it. I also like to go ahead and put about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil on the chicken, depending on how much chicken you have. I have 6 chicken thighs, so the amount that I put was just fine. I like to put this on because it gives the chicken a nice coat and it combines well with the seasonings and it allows it to get that nice crispy skin that we want in the cast iron skillet. When you're seasoning the chicken, make sure that you're moving that skin around and seasoning that as well. That is important. You don't want seasoned chicken with unseasoned skin. It's not a good look. So I like to add some oregano as well. Oregano is more of an Italian seasoning, but I think it gives it a nice blend, as well as some paprika, which is what is mostly responsible for the color of the chicken. As you guys probably know, or you may not, paprika doesn't have much of a distinct flavor, but it does have that color. Here we have more garlic powder, because you could never have too much garlic powder. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you would like more specific seasoning instructions, and in the future I'll probably combine the seasonings and then put them on the chicken, but I just wanted you guys to see this step-by-step process. So I'm adding some cayenne pepper as well. That is different from black pepper. It has a different flavor entirely, and it's a lot more spicy. So be very careful when adding cayenne pepper to your dishes. So I'm just making sure that all of the chicken is coated, no piece of chicken is left behind, and we can make sure that we have a well-seasoned chicken. I prefer to use chicken thighs. They're much juicier. They get that nice crispy skin and they're not dry like chicken breast. Although you can make some juicy chicken breast as well. You can use any part of the chicken for this, but chicken thighs are the best to use. So being that we're making a one-pan dinner, I like to put my potatoes as well as any other vegetables that I'm combining with this dish in the same pan. So today I'm going to be using some regular Idaho potatoes as well as some yellow sweet potatoes. These to me are the best combination. You can also use red skin potatoes. You can throw in some other vegetables. I wouldn't add broccoli to this recipe so early on, but you can add it after. Broccoli cooks super quickly and you don't want it to get burned. So I'm just using some baby carrots, thyme, a red onion, and almost a whole head of garlic. I think I used half a head of garlic. As I said, garlic is one of my favorite seasonings, both dry and fresh. And whenever I'm cooking, I like to have a combination of both dry and wet seasonings. I feel like that is the best combination to have. It ensures that your food has as much flavor as possible, and it just really takes things up a notch, and it just tastes so good. Like, I just can't explain it any better than that. You won't know until you try the recipe. So just to give you guys a little background, I was cutting these vegetables extremely slow. I'm usually much faster than this. I don't know. I guess I was nervous from recording because this is my first cooking video, but it's the first of many. Just wanted to give you guys some background. I am using red skin onions because they have a really nice sweet, but also still have an onion flavor. So these are perfect for the one pan dinner. They bring that nice savoriness to the dish as well as not overpower the regular seasonings that you have in there. Thyme also gives it that similar kind of Italian blend, and it just gives it a much richer flavor. It's one of the milder seasonings, but it definitely does make a difference. I usually, or I have the option to put these seasonings in my Ninja or one of my food choppers, but sometimes I just like to cut the seasonings up myself. I feel like sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's not, but I'm never really mad at it. The time that I take doing it, it's not terrible. And I also usually separate the potatoes from the actual seasonings that I'll be putting in the pan, but for the sake of this video, I wanted it to be as straight to the point as possible. I ended up mixing them together, and then later on I'm going to separate them so that you guys know they don't all go in at the same time. So these wet seasonings will go both on the potatoes and on the chicken. So just so you guys know, I will be seasoning them separately just because I'm making 6 chicken thighs. I don't want there to be a possibility that the potatoes or the chicken isn't coated with enough seasoning, because then we run into an issue of flavor and we don't want that. So I will be seasoning them separately, but with the same seasonings for the most part because they are going in the same pan. Another fun fact, just so you guys know, sweet potatoes are the best potatoes that you can consume. They are much healthier and have much less starch than Idaho potatoes. I'm using Idaho potatoes because they also taste good. So if you want to consume potatoes but are worried about weight gain or watching your carbs, I would definitely say sweet potatoes are the better option. You can even use all sweet potatoes in this recipe if that is something that you would prefer. Another thing, I recently learned this. Baby carrots and full-size carrots are the same. They're just a different size. I did not know that. These make the recipe much simpler because I don't have to worry about cleaning the carrots, shaving them or anything. I just take them out the bag, wash them off, and they're ready for use. Don't need to chop them up into bite-sized pieces. They're already in bite-sized pieces. So that is a good revelation that I made recently. Not sure if you guys already knew that. Let me know in the comments if you did. And let's continue cooking. I would also like to mention, for a one pan dinner like this one, you can pretty much add any vegetables that you like and any potatoes that you like. So if you're someone who prefers red skin potatoes, if you prefer Yukon Gold potatoes, feel free to add those in as well. You can either sub them out or you can add them to the mix. Just to let you guys know how many potatoes I used. I used 3 Idaho potatoes and 3 small sweet potatoes. So now that I am done chopping up all my seasonings, doing everything that I need to do, I'm taking the portion of seasonings and the portion of all the potatoes, and I'm putting it in a separate stainless steel bowl. I use stainless steel bowls because they last longer, they're more sanitary, the seasoning doesn't stick to it as it would a plastic bowl, and it's just a better choice overall. Putting all of them in the bowl, and these are ready to be seasoned. So I'm going to add that dry seasoning as well as wet seasoning that I will be using, and at the same time I'll add the wet seasonings that I'll be putting on the chicken. To the chicken, I just want to toss it one more time to make sure it's coated, give it a little marination so that those onions and that garlic and that thyme can really seep in there and do what it needs to do. Feel free to add green and red peppers also. What you guys are seeing here, I accidentally put the chicken in the pan before I told you guys you should grease the pan with extra virgin olive oil. So that helps the chicken to get that crispy skin. It also stops it from sticking to the pan, and it just also provides a nice little gravy. So once the chicken will leak some water and it'll combine with the olive oil and seasonings, and then you'll have a bit of a gravy. Now it's time to season the vegetables. One more thing, if you don't already have a cast iron skillet, I highly recommend investing in one. It is perfect for using not only on the stovetop, but it can also go right in the oven, and you can even do both. So you can cook something halfway on the stove, and then you can pop it right in the oven to get that final crisp. And this is great for crisping any dish. It's just beautiful. You guys need a cast iron skillet now. You need to get one. Mine is Martha Stewart, but you can get a more affordable one anywhere. Amazon, Macy's, Home Goods. pretty much anywhere. Last thing we want to do is add in the vegetables. So I'm just organizing them to make them look cute. I like when my food looks good. It makes it taste better to me, and it just makes me happier when I see a nice presentation. All seasoned up and ready to go in the oven. So I preheat my oven to 400 degrees, which I didn't mention earlier, so do that before. 400 degrees, and this meal takes about 45 minutes to a little over an hour to cook. Halfway through, at about the 30-minute mark, you should flip the chicken and turn the potatoes just so that they cook evenly on both sides. And voila, we have our one-pan chicken dinner. It is delicious. The potatoes are cooked thoroughly. The chicken is crispy. It is not dry at all, and it is just beautiful. This is the perfect meal for those that work out, want to have a conscious meal with a lot of protein, with the appropriate carbs and starch. It is just amazing. This is my go-to for any day where I don't have much time or I just really want something good to eat. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment. Be sure to tag me on Instagram at Lifestyle of a Black Girl if you do try this recipe. That is my health and wellness page, and pretty much everything that I do that no one on my other Instagram probably would care about. So make sure you follow that page. Let me know if there's any other recipes that you would like to see down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.